Moving on now to some other news. Rates of gold hit fresh high in morning trade on the MCX today due to sustained safe haven demand amid expectations of further rate cuts by the US Federal Reserve. MCX gold December futures hit a record high of rupees 1,20,879 per 10 grams around 9:45 am. The yellow metal was 0.49% up at rupees 1,20,840 per 10 grams, while MCX silver December futures were at 0.10% up at rupees 1,47,666 per kg. Additionally, speaking of the global market, gold prices in the global market are also now almost touching the rupees $4,000 mark, driven by safe haven demand amidst the US government shutdown and expectations of further easing by the US Federal Reserve relentless support. So let's look at the gold prices today and how they are faring compared to how they had fared last week and yesterday. So today's gold price right now stands at 12,202 rupees for 24 carats, and on October 6th, which was yesterday, it stood at 12,077 rupees. So we are clearly seeing almost a 200 rupees jump in just one day. 22 carat gold is right now at 11,185, while it stood at 11,070 yesterday. 18 carat gold is now at 9,152 rupees, while yesterday it was at 9,058 rupees only. So clearly we see a 100 rupees jump in just one day in the 18 carat category. We are also comparing it to last week's prices. As you know, today it's at 12,202, 24 carat. Last week, however, it was at 11,831. So clearly a massive jump since last week for the 24 carat category, and for the 22 carat last week it stood at 10,845. However, today it is at 11,185. So a jump in 22 carat gold category as well. In the 18 carat category last week it stood at 8,873. However, this week today it's standing at 9,152. So we are seeing that gold continues to rally despite seeing one of downward trend last week. Let's compare it to last month, where last month 24 carat gold stood at 10,849 rupees, and today it's at 12,000. So a massive 2,000 rupees increase in the 24 carat category. In the 22 carat category, it stood at 9,945 on September 7th, which was 1 month ago, and now it's at 11,185. In the 18 carat category, we saw how gold prices were at 8,137 last month, and this month it's at 9,152. So clearly a 1,000 rupee increase since last month in the 18 carat category. Now, if we look at last year's prices, clearly we will see a big difference since gold has continued its upward trend. Last year 24 carat gold stood at only 7,781 rupees per gram. However, as you can see the difference today, it's at almost 12,200 rupees. 22 carat gold stood at 7,136 rupees only per gram, and now it's at 11,000 rupees. And 18 carat gold stood at 5,809 rupees, and now it's seen a almost 4,000 rupees jump at 9,152 rupees per gram right now. So clearly we are seeing that a lot of rally in the gold prices since last year, and we are seeing this upward trend. In fact, even last week we saw it stagnating for a bit last week, but now it's continued its upward trend. Joining me on the broadcast is senior economist Dr. Sharad Kohli. Dr. Kohli, thank you for joining us in this early broadcast. I would like you to help our viewers understand how this gold rally is continuing, because we saw some amount of stagnation last week when it hit a high, but now again it's continuing its rally.
Good morning, Shivani. Good morning to the viewers of NewsX. I think gold and silver, they have been outclassing all the other asset classes, whether it is bank deposits, even stock markets for that matter. Bitcoin is the only thing which is probably competing with gold in terms of the surge which has happened. For all the disruption that President Donald Trump has done around the world vis-a-vis tariffs, trade wars, and economic uncertainties which he has caused, I think the people who made profit on gold and silver can only thank him for this. Because the more geo-economic uncertainty he causes, the more it helps, in propelling the gold. Second, of course, Shivani, not many people track this, but geopolitical tensions, Russia-Ukraine has aggravated. We all know it's not going to settle down anytime soon. Doesn't seem like, at least. But additionally, if you see NATO versus Russia, I think tensions are building up because there is a provocation going on both from both sides, drones being flown into European airspace and Russia being provoked. So I think the noises, or I would say the simmer of World War III seems to be knocking at our door. I think that is at the back of the mind. We should not forget, Shivani, that the gold prices open at COMEX in America. The Indian MCX or Indian Dhanteras or Indian Akshay Tritiya or Indian wedding season does not drive the gold prices. Gold prices get driven and opened from COMEX. It used to be London Bullion Market at some point of time earlier, but now it has been mostly at COMEX. And like you spoke about stagnation in the last week, I would like to decipher this for you. You know, gold prices comprise of two components. One, of course, is the normal buying and selling for investment and people buying jewelry and so and so. A major component, Shivani, is the speculative trading. This speculative trading happens at the MCX. I'm talking of the Indian gold prices, the multi-commodity exchange, where contracts get bought and sold. And these contracts are monthly. No physical gold is exchanged between the buyer and seller, but thousands of kilos of gold gets traded every day sometimes. So when profit booking comes, people book profits on their contracts. You see gold prices settling down. Same thing happens on COMEX also in America. So the gold prices, sometime when these fluctuations are there, they are not real movements. They are speculative movements. However, the undercurrent and the fundamentals remain upwards. And I think people are advised to go for ETFs. A lot of people are buying jewelry. It's not a very good idea because you lose making charges. You lose impurities. Jewelry should be only used for ornamental purposes. It should not be used for investment purposes. So I think all the factors, as you rightly said, Fed rates are also on a downward trend now. President Trump is pressurizing the Fed Governor Jerome Powell to reduce the rates. We can expect another 25 basis point cut in the time to come. So geopolitical combined with geo-economic, and then why forget the massive central bank buying 15 tons of gold has been bought in the month of August itself. Even countries like Kazakhstan, the central bank is buying gold recklessly. Indian Reserve Bank has probably calmed down a bit. It is not buying because 99% of our gold has to be imported. So we shed out precious foreign exchange reserves every time we buy. But central banks around the world, Shivani, at this point, are assimilating gold, and American treasury investments, which various countries had made, are now being liquidated because people have lost their trust on the American treasury system because President Trump is pressurizing and interfering, they say, with the Federal Reserve. So therefore, they feel that treasuries are no more as secure as they used to be. So countries and big houses are moving their investment from treasury bonds to gold. So that is the principal reason. It is neither Akshay Tritiya nor Dhanteras nor the wedding season. The reasons are far more macro and global, Shivani.
Absolutely, geopolitical scenarios there, affecting that surge. We also saw how in the US, in fact, gold prices are also reaching a record high of $4,000 mark. Thank you so much, Dr. Sharat Kohli, for joining us on the broadcast and providing us so many inputs.